not having a great day. Went to the gym, and because my gym is fucking stupid, the way that they design it is fucking dumb. You can't use the steam room and sauna when outdoors it's raining or like there's thunder or lightning. You can't use the indoor facilities because the shit is connected. I fucking hate it. And so, can't go to the sauna, finish my workout, and I can't go. I don't know even how to, because I'm a rather perceptive person. Like, I'm not super good at, like, recognizing patterns in, like, well, I'm pretty good at recognizing patterns, but, like, I'm, like, not the best at, like, understanding the human psyche, because, like, not for the most part, but for a bit of the part, to some degree, I don't really see myself as a person. This is a thing that I spend a lot of time thinking about because it happens a lot. This might be a being married. This might be one of those. It might be a in that series, the being married series. We'll see. We've been going to counseling for a minute, but we haven't gone in a while. And I'm thinking maybe we should get back into it because, well, this is a fucking issue. I don't even know the word for it. Like, if there's a word for it. So any of you, like, you know, deep psychology niggas out there, if y'all know what the word is for this, let me know. Like, hook a nigga up, because I feel like this is a thing, and it's not just gaslighting. It might be gaslighting, but there might be like a strata within gaslighting. This is this type of gaslighting. So within relationships, there's always going to be conflict. It's a matter of how you communicate and, you know, take care of that conflict that really matters. And within our relationship, I tend to be the person that is blunt. I'm much more blunt, much more straightforward. I don't fish for compliments. I don't fish for shit. I'm gonna let you know what I want, or I'm not gonna ask for it at all. So I do have a hard time with Dig, as he is a person that does that. He's kind of passive aggressive, and I've said before, I'm aggressively passive. So we're already starting not in a great spot. Passive aggressive people will take advantage of the aggressively passive. And, I mean, it's happened. It's definitely happened. And I'm not saying, like, I'm a fucking saint. I'm definitely not, because I'm the blunt one. I end up saying fucked up shit. So I will say some shit to hurt your feelings because I'm fucking mad. And I will let you know I'm fucking mad. And I will apologize for getting fucking mad and hurting your feelings because I'm fucking mad. Dig, on the other hand, is a different kind of beast. And it's not hard to get an apology out of him, because he's always apologizing, because he's got like weird shit about apologizing all the fucking time. However, I feel like in his apologies, in his mind, the way that he thinks of himself is like ultimately like altruistic. He, like, everything that he does, he's just a good person. And that's not possible. It can't be possible. And I think that in the way that I look at him, it's caused him to double down on being like a perfectly good person, which is like on me, I guess, but like also you should be accountable for your emotions and your thoughts. If you are thinking a fucked up thought, if you did a fucked up thing, then understand that came from somewhere. And it wasn't just you being stressed out and you did this. No, you had the intent. There was intent because you did a thing. You acted on that thought. And so I get very fucking annoyed when I am hurt by something that he has done and he apologizes and rationalizes why the thing happened. And that's fine. It's fine to explain why something happened. It's preferred. I would really like to understand your thought process in doing something that is hurtful, because that helps me to understand you and to understand like how we can in the future avoid these kind of circumstances. And so I do appreciate the rationale, but I don't, or maybe the explanation. Well, it's a rationale in this case. If it were in conjunction with an apology for being a fucking asshole, then it would feel more like an explanation than a rationale. And so this is my best example for one of these instances where he's done something really messed up and it really bothered me and hurt me, and I expressed that, and was kind of the response was left much to be desired. Let's say that the apology didn't address the hurtful part, the hurtful thing, the where the hurt was coming from. It addressed where he was mentally. It addressed that he did something and said something that hurt me, but not where it came from. So I've had a story time about this. So I won't get super into detail. You can watch the other video if you want. I had an award ceremony. So your boy is, I'm not gonna say like smart, but I'm not dumb. I have a degree in environmental science, and so that's the shit that I learned. I'm a scientist. I don't do any work with it, but I mean, all throughout high school, I had like 4.1 GPA until like I burned out and shit went very fucking sideways because no one was fucking listening to me, but pushing me all the same. I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but I'm also not the dullest. And so at the end of the semester, the environmental science department has this honor society, and they hold a award ceremony. And so I'm in that honor society, and so I went to the award ceremony, and where, I dressed for this occasion. For the first time, I dressed kind of masculine, and I'll show you all a picture. I dressed kind of masculine, and I, at that moment, was not doing well. I was real fucking bad off. I had a Band-Aid on my face because I actually was self-harming, and I was cutting my face. So I was not good. Going to this award ceremony was, I didn't want to fucking do it. I almost didn't even apply for the scholarships that I ended up winning because I was so fucking bad off that I was in a spot, y'all. I was in a motherfucking spot. I ended up winning both the scholarships that I applied for. And there's actually this girl that came up to me and she's like, wow, how many scholarships did you apply for? And I was like, 2, bitch. I applied for 2 and I got 2. I could have gotten yours. Cause she came to me real fucking, don't come at me like that. I won it. I did it. I'm fucking great. These scholarships mean so goddamn much to me because your boy is broke. And I mean, I had one other scholarship and I had a grant that was helping me out, but it was not enough. And so I was going to need to start taking out loans. I mean, I had already started taking out loans, but things were getting, the pressure was on. And so it was really nice to have this $2,500 to go towards my education, and I could finish next semester and be done with all this shit. It's fuck. So at the moment, I'm entrenched in all this motherfucking stress. My hallucinations are at their highest, and I can't get medication. I'm not in a good place. And dressing up for this event, I did not want to do it, and I did. And I thought I looked okay, but I felt really bad about myself, y'all. I was feeling so bad about myself. After the event, me and Dig are talking. He's, congratulating me and all that stuff. And he says that in the future, he would want me not to dress that way to his lawyer events. And I was like, oh. I mean, at least you let me know. At least you let me know. I really thought it was me and you against the world, but nah. It's good to know that I'm in this on my own. And it was very much that way for a while. All of this healing and all this understanding of myself vastly alone. And I feel like that's why Dig is kind of behind the 8 ball as far as understanding himself and, being into meditation and all that kind of stuff. Because I've been doing that shit since I was in high school, beginning of high school. I just spend a lot of time and energy on introspection and reflection, and I just think it's really fucking important to be mindful. And I'm not going to say he entirely discounts it, but he kind of does make you feel a little judged for spending so much time on stuff that he doesn't find important, and now he finds it important. I'm like, you're a fucking hypocrite. You're a fucking hypocrite. And so I let him know that it was hurtful to me, the way that he talked to me about the way I was dressing on a day that was meant to celebrate my fucking accomplishment. You had the fucking nerve, you had the fucking audacity to come to me telling me how I need to be fucking moving, how I need to handle myself, after I made it abundantly clear I can do this shit on my own. I was very upset. I think rightfully so. And he apologized. He didn't start using my pronouns until 2018. He didn't start caring about talking about any of that kind of stuff until like 2020. And so it's like when you have a kid that you didn't participate in their life, you don't really know them. And so he kind of doesn't really know me all that well. He didn't evolve with me. And so the growth, the experience is totally fucking lost to him. He's behind the 8 ball. Like, both with himself and with me and with us. He dropped the ball. He's dropped the ball, and I don't know if he's picked it back up, to be honest. I had a conversation with him about this incident, like, a couple weeks ago, because I was like, I can't get over it. I don't think I'll ever get over it. You ruined that day for me. You took a lot out of me that day, and I don't know if I can get it back, because I don't know if you're going to give it back to me. What I kind of meant by that is not that the apology wasn't enough. It's the way that he apologized and what he apologized for and how he rationalized it. Rather than giving me an explanation with the apology, it was a rationalization of his behavior. He said that during this time, he was kind of scared. There's a bird over here. He was kind of scared because things were changing. And, I mean, he was kind of checked out of my life as far as, like, my gender expression and experience went. He didn't want to be a part of that. And so it seems like it's all at once, but it didn't happen all at once. He just wasn't checked in. And he didn't care to know about it because he was hoping that I would forget it and drop it. I mean, he did that shit to himself. And in seeing me dressed the way that I was and presenting the way that I was, and jokingly telling him, like, there's people that didn't know that I had a fiance, that I was, like, into dudes. Like, I have a dude that I'm with. They were surprised by that. And I was like, it's kind of funny to me. He cites that as the reason why he felt overwhelmed and kind of like panicked. And he felt it necessary to tell me how to dress and how to present myself. He thought it was necessary to dictate to me my identity. And yes, the overall atmosphere, the overall overwhelm of the situation does inform the way that you are thinking. It does inform that. But it has nothing to do with how you act upon your thoughts. It fucking doesn't. You actively took it upon yourself. There was intent. There was fucking intent in what you said and how you behaved. And it wasn't from overwhelm. It was because you're selfish. A selfish person says selfish things. If you weren't a selfish person, then you wouldn't have said it. Does that make sense? Am I fucking crazy? Because I feel like in his explanations for stuff, he kind of omits the raw emotion that he is experiencing. He'll say he's overwhelmed. He'll say he's anxious, but he won't say, like, I said this thing because I'm selfish. I said this thing because I'm vindictive. I said this thing because I'm being passive aggressive. He doesn't say that ever. He always omits the emotion that he is experiencing because, like, he's the emotionless one. He's the one that's always calm, cool, and collected. But he's not. And the way that he presents it, the way that, like, he kind of talks about me being a fucking asshole, like, I get it. Like, I am an asshole. And I will say shit that's fucked up. I will say shit that's mean, and I'll apologize for being mean. You don't apologize for being selfish. You don't apologize for being mean. You don't apologize for being passive aggressive. You apologize for your anxiety, for your overwhelm, for your medical conditions that cause you to act the way that you do. They don't cause you to act the way you do. Your personality does. The way that you think of me does. The way that you think of the world does. And I just have a really hard time not getting very fucking upset every time he does it. And I think it's caused him to double down on thinking he's a good person, because when I'm feeling like you're omitting things, I assume that you are thinking the worst shit possible all the time. Because you're omitting something for a reason. You're omitting the bad for a fucking reason. And so I assume that it's always there. And it's definitely not always there. But I have no way of knowing, because I don't know your mind. But apparently, you know mine. I just get really, really bothered. Really, really bothered by how he rationalizes his behavior rather than offering an apology for his behavior and an explanation for why his behavior was that way, including the emotional component, including the vindictive component, including being passive aggressive, because he's a passive aggressive person. He has a martyr complex. He absolutely does. But he'll never address that. He'll never say anything about it. He'll act like, I'm a person that is vindictive and cruel and thoughtless, and I will say things to hurt him on purpose. And yeah, I do, because I'm fucking mad. And I apologize for emotional outbursts. I apologize for being fucking mad. I usually don't really even offer an explanation, and maybe I should. Because maybe, like, you knowing that, like, I have misophonia. I can't do sounds. When you chew with your mouth open, that bothers me a whole fucking lot. Because, like, if I was doing the same shit he was doing, I would always have a reason for you not to be mad at me. Because I'm mentally ill. And he uses mental illness like it's a reason to say horrible things to people. And because he says things not in a way that's, like, overtly mean, that they're less of a problem. But when you completely omit the emotional component of you being vindictive, of you being cruel, it kind of doesn't fucking matter how you said it. Kind of doesn't matter how you said it. And I'm sure there's a word or a term for it. The use of, like, rationalization for negative behaviors in a concerted effort to minimize culpability, because that's what it feels like. He's minimizing his culpability. Like, he didn't mean to say something hurtful. His anxiety made him say it. He was just in a place where he was so overwhelmed, because I'm an overwhelming individual. Because it does feel very much like it's kind of a little bit your fault, though. When I'm literally just sitting here fucking vibing, you're the one that decided you didn't want to be a part of this. And now you're fucking surprised when you come back and things have progressed. It's like, wow, the world moves without you. I'm very bothered by that. And it feels like a form of gaslighting. It's definitely a form of gaslighting. And, like, I'm this altruistic, really nice, really thoughtful person, when you're not. You're not. You're just thoughtless and callous in a different way than I am. Rather than punching someone in the face, you just slip it in. Real slow, like. Almost to the point where I don't notice, because I'm not a person that's, like, particularly, like, emotionally plugged in. And so I'm going to believe you when you say, like, you didn't mean that. And to a degree, you didn't. But you allowed your emotions to take hold of you and make you say some shit that you shouldn't have said. And I would just like some accountability for the emotional part of your outbursts. Like, is that making sense to y'all? Does that make sense? Am I, like, because I literally am at a point where I'm questioning reality. I am, like, in the middle of whatever, you know, the effects of gaslighting is. Can a person do something based on feeling anxious and overwhelmed and threatened. And that's it. Like, I feel like anxiety and nervousness doesn't make you say stuff. It doesn't make you say mean things. It doesn't make you say things to hurt other people. It's the lack of restraint, the need to have that other person know and to be hurt. It's selfishness. It's callousness that makes you say things that hurt other people. Not anxiety. Right? Am I thinking that right? Because I am actually in the middle of like not understanding it entirely. Just the thing I think about, because anytime we have an argument or a disagreement or something blows up, there's always the rationale that he will explain that he is not a person that does well under pressure, that he is easily overwhelmed and he is more likely to say some fucked up shit when he's overwhelmed, but he does not address the fact that the overwhelm doesn't make you say shit. If anyone knows, please let me know, because I feel like this is a thing, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll talk to y'all later.